we got?
2017 Beetle CPRA engine code. 1.8. Rear main seal.
Rear main seal, boys. Well, let's get started. 13 for the battery.
13 on the battery.
Lock. 10. For the battery tray.
Yep.
10 for the battery tray. What are you doing?
Taking off the. Someone's been looking around.
Someone's been.
Somebody, yeah.
What was the first thing you disconnected?
Shift cable. Take the ground strap, just get it out of the way. It's easier that way.
Just trying to work the hose.
Yep, try to get the clip off without breaking everything.
Size 13 for the starter. With the extension to the back.
The bracket. Multi-function switch.
Oh, it just broke?
Junk. It's
Yeah.
creepy.
That's what I said.
This is your fucking garbage.
Clamping off the oil cooler.
Yep.
Working the hoses.
Out of the way.
What size? What are you pulling?
18 bell housing bolt.
18 for the bell housing. You just broke it loose and then took it out with that?
Yep.
Another bell housing?
Yep.
Still 18 or?
Yeah, 18 shallow on this one.
18 shell?
Shallow socket.
Shallow socket. Thing's stuck in there that bad?
No, it just can't get a tool in there.
No.
You gotta unthread the whole thing by hand.
What's it, 24-12 point, and then you push in on it?
Yep. Make sure.
Push in on the axle. G25s. T45. Doing 16s.
Yeah. Sixteen.
7 mil. The charge pipe?
Yep.
What are you doing up there?
Starter bolts.
Starter bolts.
Bracket.
What size? 13 for the bracket, for the starter bracket. What are you cracking loose?
The starter bolts, 18.
Still more starter bolts?
2, yep, one more.
How many total?
2.
There's the starter.
Put out the axle.
Popping out the axles.
Get joints out.
And what are these bolts called? The nuts?
Torque converter nuts.
Torque converter nuts. How many of those?
6 of these.
So you gotta remove 6 torque converter nuts. $16 12-point, and those yellows are reference points.
Referencing where? Yeah.
You put it back on. Alrighty, and that's what the leaky rear main seal looks like. T30s, all new hardware, always.
The biggest issue with leaking on these is through the bolts.
Really?
Through these bolts, yeah.
Why is that?
They just don't have good seal on them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You like that scraper, huh?
This works pretty good.
It's got that bull nose on it.
It's aggressive on the aluminum. I get nervous about that.
Anything else you check for in here?
Nope.
Part number T10122/6A. Part number T10122/1. Installing the T30s. 8 newtons. cross pattern? Are those steel bolts?
I don't know.
What's that called?
Bell housing gasket.
You're just putting it back on the same spot?
Yeah.
It's 12.16. Installing the trans. Have you done these on the ground?
Yeah.
That's got to be a...
Take the subframe out. I'm gonna do it on the ground.
Take the subframe out if you're doing it on the ground?
Yeah. Give you a lot of extra room.
Then you're gonna need an alignment too.
Yes. Well, unless you use the pins.
Why'd you stick a screwdriver in there before to
To hold the flywheel in. So the flywheel didn't, or the torque converter didn't stick.
That's only when you pull it out?
Yeah.
There she goes. 16?
16.
How many? 3 for the lower?
Yeah. Bell housing. 18.
What is it? 18? 18 for that guy right there.
It's good to put these in early in case you drop one in the bell housing, then you don't have to take a bunch of stuff apart.
Oh, what are these called again?
Torque converter nuts.
Torque converter nuts. So do them early rather than later.
Yeah.
Just keep dropping.
Well,
Trying to find
yeah, if you have an accident, one falls out into the bell housing, then at least you're not taking the whole thing apart and back out. You're taking a bolt or two off.
Installing the starter.
Yeah.
What size?
18.
Still 18?
That's a 13.
13? Is that for the bracket or?
Yes.
Installing the charge pipe, 2.7 mils. Installing the passenger side axle.
Put that in there, put your finger over in the other side. Twist it until you feel the splines line up.
Installing the driver's side axle.
Twist it until the splines line up.
Installing dog bone. 21 and 2/16. Installing the 3/16 over here. Tighten that 21 right there. Installing the heat shield, 2/16. Installing splash guard. Bunch of T25s and T45s in the rear. .24 12-point. 24 12-point. Installing the cap. What size?
18.
18 for the starter.
Yep.
Another tricky 18.
Yep.
Is there a tool that you need to make it easier, or?
This is the easiest way.
Yeah. 18 bell housing.
Yep.
Tightening up the 18. What are you plugging in?
Shift cable.
Shift cable. That 13. 13 for those guys. Slipping on the oil filler hoses. Starter harness? No, it's
Power wire for the starter.
Power wire. Starter harness. What else you plugging in or putting on?
Harness bracket. For the multi-function switch.
What was that?
Multi-function switch. Ground strap.
Spraying some silicone in the hoses. What hose is that?
Secondary air supply hose.
Installing the battery tray, 310s. Two tens.
Somebody has obviously put the wrong battery in here at some point.
Oh, it was the wrong cover?
Yeah, the cover's huge on this thing.
So someone put the wrong battery, put that in there. What did you say somebody else was in here earlier?
This bolt is stripped in there.
Oh, the bolt. This guy is stripped out. Spraying some silicone. Alrighty guys, that is it. Alrighty, that's the startup.